Hey guys, Goth Santa here. I'm doing something a little different. Those of you who follow me, those few of you that follow me at Goth_Santa on Twitter, I do this thing called Preview Review where once I see a movie, I just tweet my initial thoughts on it. Some good, some bad, and it doesn't really matter. Anyway, I guess I'm trying to do a video version of that, but I'm going to give you my initial thoughts before I see the work, and then I'll film my post-credit thoughts after. So, Child's Play hit theaters this weekend. I'm going to see it today. I've stayed away from all forms of social media and YouTube. Anything that even mentions the word Child's Play, just skipped. Don't want any spoilers. I'm going to give you my unbiased opinion, and I want to like this. I know the original creators are disowning it because they have nothing to do with it due to its IP being in some weird limbo where people can manipulate or do whatever they want with the original premise. I don't care. I don't want to jump on the hashtag not my Chucky bandwagon because Brad Dourif to me is the voice of Chucky, and I love that their replacement would have been my second choice, Mark Hamill. I mean, that he's the Joker to me. But that's a double-edged sword because, yes, Brad Dourif is Chucky, and my second pick would have been Mark Hamill, but I'm worried that the voice will sound way too much like the Joker from Batman the Animated Series, and I'm just going to be thinking about that the whole film. Anyway, other casting I like is Aubrey Plaza. Like every emotionally destroyed psychopath, I love her sense of humor, very blunt, to the point, dead serious, and I don't know, goofy. So those are my initial thoughts on the casting for the premise. From what I've seen of the trailers, Chucky's an AI and not a possessed doll, which I think that premise would have done well in the 80s when the original one was, and everyone was very afraid of technology. I mean, The Fly, and actually even further back in the 50s and 60s, just a lot of the computers gone awry, HAL, the Terminators, that's back to the 80s. Anyway, we are very dependent on technology, and yes, it can be an illness, but I don't think the fear of an AI is as rampant as we like to believe it to be, because we fear so we can control it. Subnote, if it does like a Shyamalan, like a really strange twist where Andy is the one that is really messed up in the head and he's actually hacked into the server, I want to know that I called that first. That he's the one that hacked into it and made the doll seem as though it's possessed while he's been controlling it the whole time and fucking with everyone. That, on record, coined it. Now, another issue I have is the design of Chucky, the new one. I really hope I figure out how to insert an image of the new Chucky right here, or else this looks very awkward. Maybe there? There we go. I hope I actually did put it in. Anyway, his face is very angular and not that human. Not that the original one looked human at all, but with its rounded features, it threw you far more into the uncanny valley, which made you feel uncomfortable when you saw it talk and swear and you heard the voice of Brad Dourif doing his Jack Nicholson impersonation. That was just creepy. And I mean, I love the movies, and they don't scare me, but it's kind of a disconnect in the brain. It looks like a robot. If it talks, you're going to believe it's talking like a robot. So it's not going to give you that sudden unease of an automaton talking because, well, we're accustomed to robots talking. No one had that weird feeling when they watched Bicentennial Man. I guess some people did, but when it looks like a robot and it can talk, it's not really a shock. When it looks like a baby doll and it's only programmed to say a few words and the mouth isn't supposed to move that well, then it gets creepy when it starts swearing, calling you a bitch. Anyway, my initial thoughts, I want to like it. I'm trying not to jump on the hashtag not my Chucky bandwagon. I fear as though I might because being made without the original creators' wishes, against their wishes, it's not a possessed doll, but hey, again, A remake can be great if you use the original source material, but to make it your own. I mean, it does have the producers of the new It, so that's something actually going for it. Maybe take that point away. I do like the casting of the mother just because I love Aubrey Plaza. The voice, love Mark Hamill. So, great, but again, might be thinking of Batman. Or Star Wars. Probably Star Wars. Anyway, I'll see you after I've seen the movie. Wow, what a fucking piece of shit. Nah, I'm just fucking with you. The movie was pretty amazing. This did a remake done right. It took the core concept and it built on it and didn't just do a shot for shot or try to be anything like the original. It took the core concept of a ginger doll, evil ginger doll, killing people. That's all you needed, and you didn't have to do every scene beat for beat. The one issue I had was personality. I get it. You can't really use the Chucky personality. I understand, and no one can beat Brad Dourif, like I said. But it made sense for this. This isn't really a doll. This is basically a cyborg Alexa. It's an app controller. It's an iHome, which does seem a little weird considering it looks like it's for little kids. Why would you want your kid to have that much power over your house? But it's a learning android, essentially, that becomes your friend to the end. Alright, that's my review of it without spoilers. Now comes the spoilers. It opens pretty close to the original with an ad for the My Buddy doll. This one's more updated, and it's basically what you would see for any iHome or iApp that controls parts of your house. Which is initially a little awkward because the doll, like I said, is creepy, but it works for this because it looks real. It looks like something you would be walking around with and telling to change the temperature or turn on the TV or whatever. Then it quickly flashes to Vietnam in a sweatshop where all evil happens, and this worker basically being bitch slapped by his taskmaster, and to get back at him, he reprograms it. He takes away all the inhibition units that prevent it from swearing or doing violent actions. And then we cut back to the States and somebody returning the doll because it creeped them the fuck out. Because it's a creepy fucking doll. Actually, the real issue was it was a ginger, and all the original iBuddies apparently were ginger. But there's a new one coming out that can be blonde or black or a grizzly bear or even some brunettes or I don't know. I didn't see all the models, but that's where we meet Aubrey Plaza's character Karen. Of course, her name's Karen, a single mom in Chicago, a very rundown area, and she has a son Andy. Which, side note, hilarious that this is Aubrey Plaza constantly yelling Andy. Parks and Rec reference. Anyway, she gives it to him. She kind of blackmails her boss into getting the return for free and gives Turkey because his birthday's in a couple of weeks. He gets it. He's creeped out because it glitches and stars on words and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, he accidentally shows it how to do a stabbing motion when he stabs a knife into the cutting board when he's making a sandwich. And it does a montage of kid having a toy and living in a new area and his mother banging some douchebag. And the doll seems weird and it starts acting up. He gets scratched by his cat and the robot realizes that he's hurt, so it tries killing the cat. It doesn't succeed, and Andy tells him not to do stuff like that anymore. Then he kind of hints and laughs, saying, "Oh, you can take care of that asshole, his mom's boyfriend." And everything seems a little normal. He continues trying to fuck with his mother's boyfriend by scaring him with the robot, and he stumbles across some kids that realize there's something a little off by the doll. It's swearing. And these dolls aren't supposed to swear. They have that inhibition, so they think it's cool and start hanging out with him. They watch movies. They watch the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, which is my favorite of the Texas Chainsaw series. It's the goriest and funniest, and you can't beat Chop Top. And the doll's noticing Andy's laughing at all this carnage. So he goes in the kitchen, grabs a knife, and tries killing one of his friends. Andy stops him, and that seems like that's the end of it. Teaches him no, and he hangs out with these kids. They're friends. And then the thing starts recording what Andy's saying, especially about his mom's boyfriend, and appears behind the boyfriend and just starts playing a recording of Andy calling him an asshole, which he is. I mean, he's a fucking asshole. So he basically threatens the kid, saying, "You have an issue, take it with me, fight me like a man." And this is a tweenager. I don't know how old the kid was. He's a good actor, but I can't tell if he's 12 or 15, honestly. Sorry, I keep hitting my thigh. So, anyway, Aubrey Plaza, Karen, she locks the doll in the closet and says that Andy can only spend a few hours a day with him. He doesn't like that. He breaks out of the closet while Andy's at school and kills their cat to protect Andy. Andy hides the evidence because he doesn't want the doll taken away from him, and just says the cat ran away because the boyfriend left it open. Time goes by, and Andy wishes that his mom's ass of a boyfriend would disappear. The doll is lucky to oblige, finding out that Aubrey Plaza's boyfriend has a family. He's married, and, well, this is an R-rated movie, and you can tell it's heavily inspired by 80s movie. It's obviously an 80s remake, but there's a lot of gore in this scene. A guy, you see the bones in his legs just snap out when he falls off the ladder. They have this ditch witch or some form of a mechanical plow because they have a watermelon field, and it just tears his face off. And Andy wakes up to a watermelon with the dead boyfriend's face on it. So he has to get rid of it, and he calls his two friends, who freak the fuck out. Best line of the movie, "What's with the fruit?" Just one of the best lines in the movie. The movie's great. But so they decide to wrap it up and get rid of it, throw it down this garbage chute, and it's a decent plan until he gets caught by his mom asking why he's not in school, and his excuse is he has bad diarrhea, and the bag is a gift for their neighbor. This lovely little can't really say she's little and old. She's the mother of the cop in the movie. Spoiler alert in the spoiler. There's a cop in this movie about a killer doll and murder and mayhem. Yeah, a cop. Who'd have figured? Fuck. Anyway. So he gives her the present, a wrapped up watermelon with a face on it, but she accepts it and is so awkward and kind of gives a wink and a nudge in this panic-stricken mode, saying, "But let's open it together on my birthday when it's official," or whatever. So she keeps it, and she keeps her word. She doesn't open it. That's actually a really cringy scene where I was laughing in my seat, I could barely contain myself. And Andy decides he needs to get rid of the doll, finally. He hides it in the closet, and the doll's trying to protect itself as a knife, and it's scared. Apparently it can feel fear. But all it wants to do is please Andy. So Andy gets his real friends to help him get rid of the doll. And they basically do a Goodfellas when they invite the doll into Andy's room. Well, re-invite him to his room and knock him from behind the head and just kill him. So we think that's it. They throw it all down the garbage chute, and he goes, because the cops invite him to have dinner with his mom a couple times, has dinner with there to snatch the face melon, and dispose of it. The doll doesn't die. The creepy repairman, maintenance man, whatever you want to call him, finds it in the garbage chute and reactivates it. Starts experimenting on it. He's really just trying to fix it up so he can sell it on eBay. The guy's a creep, but he knows it can fetch a pretty penny on eBay. So he's fixing it up, and the doll starts to really go haywire, seeing Andy interacting with other people and having fun and calling them best friends and stuff. And decides to kill the guy that made him up, who I swear is Jack Black. Probably isn't, but they got the most Jack Black looking bastard to play him. And it's so much blood and gore. And it's so brutal how he dies. He's a creep, but I don't think he deserved that death. The boyfriend, yeah, face getting torn off. This creepy maintenance dude, he's a creep, but he's pretty much harmless. But I was laughing my ass off. Just... Anyway, the doll repackages itself and gives himself to another kid in the apartment complex, who is showing him off, and obviously Andy's freaked out by it because he had a doll that just killed someone that he knew, and he felt very responsible for it. And the doll starts hinting about being Chucky. So when they're at the store, all the kids, the store that his mom works at, the doll lets on that he is Chucky, saying, "If I can't be your friend, no one can," in the creepiest creepiest voice ever. And that kind of sparks a fight between him and the new kid that has the doll. And the doll's just now sneaky. Andy's grounded, obviously. He's fucking with all the electronics because he's hooked up to everything in their house. And he's showing him that he's killing the lovely little lady that he gave the face melon to. Because they have this phone, this Uber-like app, but it's a remote-controlled car. It kills her, and that's when the detective finds out about the face melon that was thrown in the garbage chute. It's discovered also with the maintenance man, so he's suspecting Kid Andy. He arrests him on the big opening of the My Buddy 2, trying to arrest the kid. That's when all hell breaks loose, and he just activates every device in the store, just slashing people to death with drones that have razor blades. You've seen it in the trailers, probably. And the build is just so intense. It was a spectacular movie. And it ends with a non-apology by the company saying, "Oh, we're just doing a recall. We're going to fix the glitch." And hence that others have glitched out too. And, now, personal thoughts. Love the movie. The doll, like I said, I understand it not having a personality. Am I jumping on the not my Chucky bandwagon? Yes. Because as great as this movie is, and it is great, sorry Mancini, you made a good movie in the 80s. A classic slasher and an icon. But that's all he is now. Chucky is an icon. Voiced by Brad Dourif and created by you. And that is amazing, that's spectacular. This movie on its own is also a great movie. It is fantastic, but this is not my Chucky. You could have thrown any doll in that role, any robot, anything, and it would have been just as good. The reason you chose Child's Play is obvious. You want a name, you want staying power, and you want an initial audience. But the direction, the shots, the atmosphere, the music, everything was spectacular. I can't recommend this movie enough. I only wish it wasn't a Child's Play movie just so that people stop nitpicking at it. Go see it. It's spectacular. You'll be laughing, cringing, and just... you can't wait to see more. And with a Child's Play TV series coming out shortly, created by Mancini, and with Brad Dourif, I believe, doing the voice, we're still going to have the classic Chucky that we know and love. But this is a good movie on its own. It can stand on its own merits. It doesn't need to be a child's play. It's not the child's play, but it is a good child's play movie. Thank you. I'm Goth Santa. Those are my thoughts. And if you like these, I might do some more. I'm still going to do the preview review tweets. I'm actually going to send one out as soon as I hit off this. So, like, share, subscribe, follow me on Twitter at Goth_Santa. I can never say that right. Goth_Santa. There we go. Later.